And a warm welcome to the viewers at home. We are live inside Urbana High School's Oscar Adams Gymnasium. Tonight, a big game from the Tigers as they look to bounce back from a tough loss last night against Rich Central, who has traveled down south from the Chicago suburbs. Rich Central enters this one 8-7, Urbana 5-10. I'm joined by Colin Tarkowski. And Colin, you're normally in the pep band for these games. Saturday evening game, no pep band tonight. A bit of a different atmosphere for the Tigers. How do you think they'll fare coming off last night's electric atmosphere that we saw against the Central Maroons?
You know, I feel like in the first half we played pretty well. Defense was pretty good in the first half, kind of shut down some of their top players, especially number 30, Khalil Terry.
Yep, Khalil.
But I feel like this team's going to be a bit more of a challenge. I think we have a shot if we can lock down our defense and kind of change some personnel situations that we had last night. But, yeah, I think we have a good shot.
Absolutely. Last night the defense was a little spotty, especially in that second half.
The third quarter was absolutely brutal.
It was. No way around that. And that was surprising to me because the Tigers are usually a second-half team. You know, they've faltered down the stretch this season, but I was not pleasantly surprised to see the Tigers perform last night. It was a rough second half. So you're right. We'll have to see how they perform down the stretch.
Absolutely.
Yep. Nick Stillwell, math teacher at Urbana High School, he's just about set to hop on the mic and announce tonight's starting lineups. The national anthem obviously won't be performed by the pep band tonight. They'll play it probably from Steve Waller's iPod. So we will go down to the court and the national anthem. Well, that was absolutely not Steve Waller's iPad. In fact, that was Urbana High School gym teacher Allison Penty, a nice rendition of our Star Spangled Banner.
It's a very pleasant surprise there. Not expecting that.
Absolutely. She does a fantastic job. She sings it at the girls' games pretty frequently, along with some other people. They rotate out. But, yeah, Miss Penty does a fantastic job on the mic when she's singing. Let's meet the starters for Rich Central. We will see Chance Love, Tyrus Harvey, Briante Washington, DeJuan Evans, and Jace Lee, the three players to watch for Rich Central. Briante Washington, DeJuan Evans, and Jace Lee, especially DeJuan Evans. He is the leading scorer for the Rich Central Olympians with 14.4 points to this point in the season per game. And they're about to flip the lights off and announce the starters for Urbana. And or not, I mean, maybe. And Steve Waller runs over and turns the lights off.
There it is.
Bit of a delayed action there. And since I'm not trying to talk over the pep band like I normally would be, I can read you the starters for Urbana right now. Tyron Pickett, Keanu Duke, Peyton Sheen, Tyrese McWilliams, and Miller Calhoun. Tigers, of course, coached by Verdell Jones. Let's meet our officials tonight. Buzzy Barton, Mark Powell, and Mark Jontry. I almost called you Miller, but Colin, I think the player to watch for Urbana tonight is Miller Calhoun. You know, he's put together some good games heading into this one, and I think tonight is going to be the breakout game for number 40, Miller Calhoun.
I completely agree. I think he deserves a little bit more playing time than what he's gotten lately. I remember a couple games ago he had about 8 points in the paint in the first half or something like that, and he just didn't play much in the second half, and that was just kind of a letdown for me. So especially in games with the team, they have a couple 6'3" guys, 6'6" guy. We're going to need as much height as we can, so Miller needs to be in the game.
Absolutely. And Miller, you know, he's a skinny, lanky guy. The way he plays, he's almost like Dirk Nowitzki. He can go in the paint, but he's got an excellent perimeter game.
He does. I've seen him knock down threes from the corner, just nothing but net. So he's definitely a two-way player. He can, Yeah,
absolutely. In the circle for the Olympians, Jace Lee. For the Tigers, Tyrese McWilliams. It's Tigers basketball, and we're underway, and Urbana wins the tip-off. And let's see how they fare their first possession of the evening. And it's McWilliams now. Williams to Pickett, goes back to Tyrese. Tyrese driving inside, is going to go out to Pickett in the corner, takes the pass, drives in, draws the foul. And this will go against number 10, Tyrus Harvey, the first foul of the game for either side.
It's already better ball movement than it's on most of the second half last night, to be completely honest. That was...
Yeah, last night against Central, the second half just was not very good for the Tigers. They struggled. They played a little too individually. Shot selection was not great, so they'll definitely look to spread the ball around today and perhaps get some shots that favor the roster as a whole. As Tyrese McWilliams drives in off the glass, no good. Miller Calhoun the rebound and one. Good
board from Miller.
That's exactly what you talked about before the game, Colin.
Exactly.
He can go in the paint and he can hurt you there.
Yeah.
That's a big opening basket for Miller Calhoun and these Tigers. Leading scorers for the Tigers entering this one, Carez Anderson, Peyton Sheen, and Jamonte Williams, believe it or not. Jamonte averages 11 a game. Peyton Sheen, he is the man for the Tigers this season, averages 13. Carez Anderson, 12.1, and driving inside, and another and one. Check that. No, it's going to be an and one. Tyrus Harvey. The exact opposite of what we saw down on that side of the court. Miller Calhoun picked up the basket and one for the Tigers, got fouled by Harvey. This time it's Tyrus Harvey for the Olympians getting the basket and one, and Miller Calhoun the foul.
Kind of all bounces out here, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we've come full circle.
Never mind.
Only difference was that Miller made his free throw. So Urbana up 3-2, 7:15 left in the first quarter. Again, Joey right alongside Colin Tarkowski, and inside to Miller. And he gets his second basket of the game
Miller.
to go.
5 points.
And I believe he's already gone over his season average for points per game.
What is his average?
I believe he's averaging around 2.5, somewhere around there. And going inside, getting the basket to go, Jace Lee, the big 6'6", 213 senior for Rich Hill. Rich Hill, of course, from Olympia Fields, Illinois. Enter this one 8-7, 2-1 in the SICA conference. And that's the height that we're talking about from Jace Lee. 6'6", goes in, an easy basket in the paint, gives Rich Central their first lead of the game. Here's Tyrese McWilliams for Urbana, pulling up from the corner, can't convert.
Doesn't seem like his game right there. He's more of a post presence in my opinion.
And that'll be the second foul of the game for Calhoun. And you're right, Tyrese, he's the biggest guy on the court for Urbana right now. Pound for pound. Let's see what he's listed at here.
Oh, wow, surprising. Bringing in Chris Cross after playing
almost the entire JV game. And what a JV game he had.
Nearly 40 points in the game,
39, I believe.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's playing at all in this game.
Yeah, well, and here he is. 6:15 left in the first quarter. We'll see what he can do. Chance Love. DeJuan Evans. Evans inside to Love. And Love finds Harvey for three. Can't convert. Rebound to McWilliams. And back to his game. You know, he's pound for pound probably the biggest guy the Tigers have.
For sure, yeah.
You know, he might not be the tallest, but he's certainly got the most muscle mass for his height. And traveling is Tyron Pickett. And the Tigers have to utilize that. The Tigers are not a very big team, and that was exploited last night against Central. So
There's not much you can do against a team with multiple 6'5", 6'6" guys on the team.
It's tough.
2-3 D1 recruits. There's not much you can do.
Yeah. Well, against a tall, big team, you got to shoot. And the Tigers just could not get anything to fall last night.
Not at all. I remember Keanu Duke had 4 or 5 wide open threes and couldn't knock him down. That's
it just wasn't the Tigers' night. And I'm not saying that they should go out to the perimeter all the time. I mean, they're not particularly a very good three-point shooting team either, but they got to get the mid-range game going. Just got to find they got to play balanced is what I'm trying to say.
Typically they can knock down threes late in the game, third, fourth quarter.
Yep. And not there from Duke.
Just as I said, Duke, wide open three, can't knock it down.
Nice defense from Keanu.
Great defense from Duke.
Came in, interrupted the play, whistled out of bounds off of DeJuan Evans. 5 minutes and 1 second left in the first. Urbana still down by 1. Cornelius Crosley is the head coach of the Olympians. And Tyron Pickett, a nice pass inside to McWilliams. He couldn't hold on to it. That's going to go out of bounds on Tyrese. So Rich Central takes over, 4:48 left. And Colin, these two teams, neither team has been able to pull away through the opening minutes of the first quarter.
No, it's mostly been in the paint besides, actually I believe it's been completely in the paint. So
yeah,
surprising for Urbana. Usually we try to get a mid-range or a deep range game going here.
And here's Harvey. We've called his name quite a bit. And Chance Love driving inside, off the rim. It's short. Going up, can't get it, can't tip it in a third time either. And Olympians really struggling here as they'll kick it out. And now a three-pointer doesn't fall, and they'll get another offensive rebound, and that one goes in. What a possession. Jace Lee finishes it off, and Coach Verdell Jones not happy that the Tigers allowed so many offensive rebounds.
6 offensive rebounds there, and another turnover from Pickett.
Going inside, and the foul. DeJuan Evans will go to the line for 2, nearly completed the and 1. A lot of stunned faces on the Tigers bench.
Very much so.
And that's what we talked about. The Tigers are just outsized. I mean, not a ton you can do. His first free throw is no good to prevent that.
Is that Perez coming into the game?
Perez Anderson's in the game for the Tigers. Perez's absence was big a week ago yesterday against Normal Community. The Tigers lost that one by 8.
It was. He checked that. Difference in that.
My bad. That was Tyron that didn't play that game. I always get the two confused. They both have very similar games.
They do.
Peyton Sheen for 3, can't get it. Rebound. Rich Central, they'll go the other way. Chance Love pushes it up. And now to Tyrus Harvey to the corner, and Briante Washington back to Harvey. Harvey driving inside. Pass to Washington. And Washington to Lee, no good. Up the court, Perez. Perez to Sheen. Sheen to Duke. Duke will drive inside. Off the glass, it's no good. Rebound, Harvey. Harvey moves. Finds Evans in the corner. And DeJuan Evans had his wrist taped up, it looked like, and that tape has come loose. We have an official's timeout as they dispose of that. And it's Evans who will inbound the ball to Harvey.
In comes Jamonte Williams here.
And Jamonte Williams has had a really good season for the Tigers.
He has. Did he play last game? I don't think he played last game, which is kind of surprising to me. He seems...
Yeah, I don't remember calling his name last night. He definitely played against Community. Had a big game against the Iron.
We had a great third quarter in that game.
Came out of the gates. Tigers were down by a pretty large margin out of the halftime break, and they called his number quite a bit, and he was really the key cog in that machine as they fought their way back. Ultimately lost by 8, but he played his role.
That's the story of Urbana basketball this year. Fight your way back, possibly tie it up, take a small lead, and then blow it in the last few minutes.
We've seen that against Centennial, Manual, and, of course, Normal Community.
Yeah, that Manual game was a great game. I think
fantastic
1 2-point difference at the end. That was
75-73, the final score of that one. And that was just on the heels of the Centennial game, which, I mean, they're both very similar games. Both of them, great atmospheres.
I think we're a better team than our record indicates. 5-10. We could easily have 3, 4, maybe 5. Not 5, but at least 3 or 4 wins possibly.
Chris Cross called for the travel there. Well, you look. I mean, the Centennial, Manual, and Normal Community games, we lost by 14 points, 12 points if you add all the differences up. So I mean,
yeah,
we scored 13 more points in those games, and we're an 8-7 ball club. Off the glass, Peyton Sheen couldn't corral the rebound, and that won't cost the Tigers as it's out of bounds on Briante Washington.
Speaking of Peyton Sheen, it seems like he doesn't count very often. It seems like he plays almost the entire game every week.
Yeah, he played most of last night's game, and you're right, I don't remember too many moments this season when he's on the bench. Cross no good, a little short. And Sheen's always got a lot of energy towards the end of these games. Think back to the St. Thomas More game. It was his and one that sealed a close victory for the Tigers. Tyrese McWilliams calling for the foul, his first of the ball game and the fourth for the Tigers as a team.
Oh man, besides Miller, we have basically no offense so far. Well, literally no offense.
Yeah. Miller Calhoun, all 5 points for the Tigers, and he is on the bench with 1:50 to go in the first. Tigers down 8-5. And a steal. Here's a good chance for the Tigers to generate something. It's Williams drawing the foul. That foul on the floor, so he won't go to the line. But a nice job forcing some contact as Bryson Lee will check in for Urbana and replace Peyton Sheen. Rare trip to the bench for him. Tyrese McWilliams is also back in.
I'm surprised Chris Cross is playing so much. Didn't expect him to play nearly the entire first quarter after playing a whole game.
Well, it just tells you how much faith this program has in Cross.
He's only a sophomore, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's only a sophomore. Played most of the JV game, had nearly 40 points. I think the reason he stayed in so long is because it was a close game. It wasn't like buzzer beater close, but it was close enough to where I think the JV team wanted him on the floor just so he could help seal up the win, which the JV team did win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I expected to see him in this one, but it's interesting to see him play so much, so often.
He's got tremendous upside to him.
Absolutely. Big guy. Will throw it to the corner, and Carez for three. We're tied. Minute 22 left, and we're tied at 8. Carez Anderson, the second leading scorer for the Tigers, ties us up. And here's Carez driving in off the glass.
Sadly, not enough height as Central had last night to throw down a windmill dunk.
Oh yeah, if that was perhaps if Carez had 2 or 3 more inches, he'd be a scary player.
He would be.
He still is a scary player.
Same is true for 4 or 5 Urbana players. If you see them a couple more inches, they'd be.
Yeah. Carez is really like a Chris Paul sort of guy.
He is.
That's how I see him, and I see Tyron the same way. And Chris Cross, the block. Lee, or rather Tatum, came in and threw that one away. Pass goes out of bounds, and it will go to Urbana. Bryson Tatum, number 30 for the Tigers. I think I called him Bryson Lee earlier.
I noticed, I didn't mention anything, but
I had him confused, of course, with Jace Lee of Olympia. Or Rich Central. Ooh.
Wow.
That's Jace Lee who kicked that out of bounds. I hope Coach Blackman's in attendance tonight. That was quite you could hear that one.
Have to get him on the team, yeah.
DeJuan Evans. Oh, man. Off my game tonight. Jamonte Williams inbounds for the Tigers. To an open Tyrese. Driving inside, and now it's Chris Cross for 3. Doesn't get it. Tatum couldn't get the rebound. Rich Central at the buzzer. Won't get it to go, and we enter the second quarter with the Tigers up 10-8. So, Colin, what did you see that you liked, and what did you see that you didn't like so much from the Tigers in our first quarter of action?
I really liked their paint game, especially with Miller getting 5 points with Just the layup and one there. And honestly, I'm surprised the height differential between the two teams hasn't had as much of an effect, aside from the one possession where Rich Central got about 6 offensive boards. But I'm pleasantly surprised by Perez so far, especially playing great defense. And I think we keep that up, we definitely have a chance to win this game.
Absolutely. And I liked how early that Miller Calhoun was able to strike for the Tigers. You know that Coach Verdell Jones, he hasn't liked how his team's been coming out lethargically lately at the starts of these games, and that's not just one game in particular I'm talking about. That's been the story of the Tigers' season. Start slow and quick. So it was nice to see Miller get on the board so quickly. I think you'd like to have more than 10 points at the end of the first quarter, but you'll take it. You're in the lead.
As long as your team has fewer points than you, it's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Tigers will take a 2-point lead going into the second quarter. I don't want to harp too much on last night's game, but that game was tied at 2 for the longest time. I believe until about 3 minutes left in the first.
It was. That was very low-scoring first quarter. The third quarter kind of made up for that for Central.
I'd say.
I believe they scored nearly 30 points in a quarter.
Yep. And here's Rich Central, the Olympians. And a very Olympic play there from Duke. Keanu Duke the block. And a foul against Rich Central, their 5th team foul, I believe, and the 2nd foul to go against Jiren Mitchell. Up the court for Urbana, Perez Anderson. Keanu Duke picked up by Mitchell, driving inside. And a foul on the floor. The 6th foul for the Olympians. That one will also go against Mitchell, I believe.
Yeah, 3 fouls already on Mitchell.
Yeah. One more foul will put Urbana in the 1-1. And Jamonte Williams inbounds to Perez, who gets blocked. And what a block that was from Jace Lee. If you look at the team stats, Urbana averages 31 rebounds per game. Rich Central 27.
I noticed that Urbana's team stats are overall better than Rich Central. I don't know if that's a different competition level, but still, it's kind of surprising.
Yeah. Perez Anderson to the line. Tigers are now in the 1-1. I don't believe Rich Central and Urbana have any common opponents through this point in the season. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that. As Perez misses in the 1-1, and the Olympians will take it the other way.
See, great defense from Perez right there.
Fantastic defense from Perez, and he'll finish. Tigers go ahead by 4 with 7:15 left in the first half.
Our team is essentially Miller and Perez at this point. 7 from Perez, 5 from Miller.
Yeah. Calhoun scored his 5 points and then went to the bench pretty quickly.
I believe foul trouble, right? 2 fouls?
Yeah, I guess he did have 2 fouls. And even though his replacements, Chris Cross and Bryson Tatum, haven't gotten on the board yet, they've done a pretty good job, made an impact. Cross is on the bench now. The 5 for Urbana is Duke, McWilliams, Anderson, Tatum, and Williams. Peyton Sheen due to come in for the Tigers. Goes to the corner, and Tyrese swings it inside, and a reverse layup puts the Tigers ahead by 6.
Great finish by McWilliams there.
And it's Perez driving inside. What a move, can't get it. Tatum gets the rebound, can't finish, but he'll go to the line.
Does Perez have 3 steals now?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's playing great defense.
And you look at the Tigers as a team, they average 6.7 steals per game, so nearly 7. And Perez has half of that, if not one more. It's Tatum at the line, a shooting foul. He'll shoot 2. First free throw is good. And that's a good way to get some brownie points with your coaches. Come in here as a freshman or a sophomore, an underclassman. Tatum, of course, is sophomore?
Freshman.
Freshman,
yeah.
Of course. I thought that's what I thought, but I was going to say, yeah. Anyways, knocks down his first free throw, misses his second.
Definitely does not look like a freshman. 6'1", 160. Has more size than half the team.
Inside is Jace Lee. He gets it to go, brings it back to a 5-point game, and it's really a testament to how well, how deep Urbana is at the middle school level, at the freshman level, at the lower levels that I can't remember the classes of some of these guys, because you look, the current sophomore class, or no, the current freshman class, they went undefeated as 7th graders, finished 3rd in the state. You look at this year's 8th grade team, they still haven't lost a game.
I was going to say, I just saw earlier, they're, I believe, 15, 16-0 already.
Yeah. Of course, the 8th grade boys basketball tournament here at the middle school. Our 8th grade team has aspirations of hosting their own state games and being the home team in the state title game. How nice would that be?
Are you going to be calling those?
I'll be on a mic. I'm not sure which one. I'd like to get out and broadcast them, but I've got other backup plans if we aren't able to. And here's McWilliams to Carez. With 5:50 left, he'll pass it to Sheen, an open three, can't get it. Rebound, Chance Love.
Urbana has to knock those down. If we've 3 wide open threes we've missed now.
And a travel. Peyton Sheen was ready to take the charge, and I think they might have called that a charge if not for the travel. Worth noting that in for Rich Central for the first time this afternoon, Dion LaShawn Washington.
It's a great name.
Great name. Absolutely. Peyton Sheen pulls up from inside the free throw line, and you bet it.
Finally gets one to knock down.
7-point lead for the Tigers.
Foul on Jamonte.
You bet it. That's got to be a blend of you bet and got it. Bet it.
Bet it. Sounds like something I'd say.
Yeah, it does sound something like it. Oh, my gosh. Carez Anderson's all over the place.
He is. Nearly another steal. That would have been 4 in the first half.
And inside, Jace Lee. Lee, who averages 8.8 points a game, has 8 points so far in this one.
I figured he'd be a factor in this game. There's not much Urbana can do against a 6'6", 210-pound player here.
Williams had it blocked and then got caught in a fracas with Lee. Jump ball, arrow favors Urbana. And it's Carez to Sheen. Sheen looked at a deep three, didn't take it. Finds Williams in the corner, back to Anderson. Anderson standing on the U. Driving, still driving. Brings it back out, a spin move. He's guarded by Washington. Can't get the three to go. And off the glass, McWilliams couldn't finish. And man, the Tigers have been so close in some of these, Callum. They just can't quite get it in the basket.
Carez's handles on that possession were insane, I must say.
Peyton Sheen, I don't think that was out of bounds. Man.
Great effort.
I thought he saved that one. Heck of an effort from Peyton Sheen. Chico Lipscomb in the game for the Tigers. As Tyrese McWilliams checks out. And here's Chance Love. Tyrus Harvey went inside to Jace Lee, and a foul is called. Rich Central in the 1-and-1 and shooting the free throws, Jace Lee. So he knocks down one. He'll officially go over his season average. And scoring-wise, it's really been the Jace Lee show. He has 8 points.
He has.
No other player on the court has more than 2. Can't get the first in the 1-and-1. And Jamonte in trouble, finds Duke. Duke is also in trouble, finds Jamonte, and to the corner and stolen by Lee, who is out of bounds.
It's a very good defensive game so far.
Absolutely, old school.
I prefer it that way,
struggle,
yeah. I'm not a fan of the new Warriors-type teams putting up 150 a game. It's not my style.
Well, you look at missed opportunities. I mean, both these teams could probably have 150 by now. They both missed so many shots, including that one from Williams, but he'll get it back and get fouled. And that was a tough look for Jamonte.
It was.
Or Jamonte, I should say. No surprise that didn't foul, or go. Gets fouled, goes to the line. And the first free throw from Williams is good.
We've definitely improved our free throw shooting over the course of the season.
Absolutely.
Remember at the beginning, we 50% chance whether or not it goes in.
Mm-hmm. And through the normal community game, the Tigers were a 58% free throw shooting team.
Yeah, that's just terrible.
Yeah, they've improved that.
They have.
But that just gives you a benchmark of how spotty they were at the line. Empty possession for the Olympians. Tigers driving. Sheen, a contested three, can't get it.
Definitely expecting a foul call on that one.
Yeah, well, it was close. And with the Tigers ahead by 7, that was a statement maker. If that went in, that would have been big.
Double-digit lead in the first half, yeah.
That would have been big for the psyche of
good steal from Jamonte.
Coach Crosley and these Olympians out of bounds. Man, empty possessions has been the story of the game for both teams. Rich Central will inbound Chance Love. Love to Harvey. To Briante Washington. To Deion LaShawn Washington, who goes inside to Chance Love, can't finish, gets blocked by the rim, and the Tigers go the other way. Carez driving coast to coast,
wow.
He got it! Oh my gosh! What a drive, and a turnover, it's Duke going inside off the glass, an 11-point game, and Coach Cornelius Crosley calls a timeout for Rich Central.
Urbana is playing insane defense right now.
Oh my gosh, best defense they've played all season.
Absolutely. Carez is just...
He's all over the place.
He is.
He's making, I mean, we've seen him make so many plays on defense, and there's a big one that he made on offense. I mean, he put the pedal to the metal, and he just kept going. That's the definition of coast to coast.
Nearly a career-ending block right there, and he somehow avoided it.
Yeah, he's a shifty guy. I mean,
he is.
He's tough to defend for sure.
It's kind of where our players being undersized comes into play here. We can kind of get under those blocks. If he was a couple inches taller, yes, he might be a better player, but that would have been a for sure block.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that so often.
Yeah, with him and Pickett especially.
Yeah, they just go under you.
Yeah.
Side to side, it's tough.
There aren't many advantages to being 5'10" high school basketball, but that's one of them.
Indeed. Coming out of the timeout, 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. And the results of our game day poll are in. 11 votes in today's game day poll, and the public, with 45% of the vote, chose Rich Central to win by 1 to 9 points.
It's either Urbana haters or maybe a few Rich Central fans
Perhaps,
in here.
Yeah. No one will ever know the truth. No one picked Urbana to win by 10 or more. 28% of the vote was had by both Urbana by 1 to 9 or Rich Central by 10 plus. And again, 11 votes in today's game day poll. For future game day polls, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Joey_Wright99. The morning of every game that we broadcast, I tweet out a poll. Who do you think will win, and by how much? And a big 3 from Keanu Duke.
Seems like everything is clicking for Urbana right now.
Absolutely. Inside, and Peyton Sheen draws the foul.
His feet were moving, that's why it's under charge.
And I believe with 60% of the vote last night, Central by 10 or more points won.
I believe that's expected.
The poll did really well, right? 59 votes in yesterday's poll.
Likely had a few Central fans chiming in there, too.
I think so. 59 votes yesterday, 11 today.
corresponds to the difference in crowd sizes here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this game, you know, Champaign Central last night, Rich Central tonight, I think the people rather would see Champaign Central.
Oh, for sure.
This atmosphere. And you know, it's noteworthy that there's no pep band today. That's something worth noting. I guess the band program just didn't feel like coming out on a Saturday.
Well, actually, Waller didn't give Mr. Hicks that on the schedule, so Mr. Hicks had no idea about it. So that's why we're not having pep band tonight.
Okay. Perhaps some beef between athletic director Steve Waller and band director Darren Hicks.
Maybe so. I don't know. Although I don't really like when there's like no crowd and the band is just like drowning everything out.
Yeah.
It seems like if there's no crowd or there's expected to be no crowd, we should downsize the bands.
Well, you know, I was at Eastern Illinois University for part of their game against Belmont today, and they only had 16 people in their band. I counted. They did a perfect job filling that space. Obviously, a much bigger gym. I really don't think we ever need 100 people in that band section, let alone, you know, I think we would do fine with just 20 of them. Yeah,
the 3 games last semester, for some reason, the band directors chose to have the entire marching band there, which is, excluding the color guard, nearly about 100 people.
Yeah,
so, like, there's no need for that in a gym of this size when
it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't get it. Some things I'll just never understand is Williams can finish that one. 1 minute 30 seconds to go, and the Tigers up 12. Looking to end this half strong.
There's an errant pass there.
Yeah, Rich Central has not done much this half. That pass was thrown away. And it's Anderson who will drive up the court, rather bring the ball up the court. Finds Keanu Duke, and Duke to McWilliams. McWilliams will drive, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line.
Both teams have been great at drawing fouls so far in this game, especially in the paint. We don't really see much of this this game in the paint by Urbana as we have today.
Yeah, Urbana's only hit we've only seen 1 or 2 threes go in tonight. Obviously, Keanu Duke knocked one down.
I don't remember another one besides that.
Yeah.
It might be it.
I think Rich Central might have gotten one earlier, but
yeah.
It's been a very perimeter, very post-centric game, I should say.
It has been.
And a turnover here. Jamonte Williams. Who else? Dishes to Pickett, who can't get it to go. Big possession here for the Olympians. Driving inside is Evans. Pulls up, can't get it. Rebound Williams. Gets fouled by Deion LaShawn Washington. Second foul for Deion LaShawn.
Both teams in the double bonus here. That just speaks to how well both teams are drawing fouls.
Yeah.
Or I guess if you're on the opposite side, how much the officials like to blow their whistles here. But
quite a bit. You know, I haven't heard Stephen Thompson complain yet today.
It's not a game without a complaint from Stephen Thompson here.
Yeah, well, Stephen is, you know, for those of you who don't know, he helps us out on the Tigers Media Network from time to time, runs the student section, and he is the most anti-referee person I know. So the fact that we've had more than 20 fouls today and not a word from Stephen, it's been a pretty well-called game.
I don't think he minds as much when we're up 30-16 in the first half.
That's also true. Oh, here's Evans.
In fact, to the officials in the game against Normal West, I believe they gave us that double technical in the end of the game, gave us 4 free throws, and Steven's still complaining about the refs there.
Yeah, I don't – who will ever understand Steven? 30 seconds left in the first half. Tigers and Jamonte Williams. Now it's Keanu Duke.
Likely just going to dribble out to get the last shot.
You'd think. Well, here's –
maybe not.
Well, let's see what the Tigers can do here. If they can get an open look, I think they'll take it. Nearly turned it over, and inside to Williams, and they will turn it over. So now Rich Central with 11 4/10 of a second left to try and get something going.
I've never been a fan of teams just dribbling out the clock. I believe high school basketball needs a shot clock.
I think high school basketball needs a shot clock as well. Deion LaShawn Washington off the glass. Rich Central, a sideline warning assessed to Coach Cornelius Crosley, and that's big because it stops the clock. lets all the Tigers just make themselves aware of the clock. And Carez will get a shot off at the buzzer. No good off the backboard, but that could have been costly for the Olympians because they gave the Tigers just a few extra seconds to collect themselves and look up at the scoreboard.
If Urbana launches a half-court pass there, we could have had a regular 3 there to attempt at the end of the half for buzzer beater. So.
Yeah, Tigers played it safe, and that will end the first half. So, Colin, what did you see that you liked, and what did you see that you didn't like so much from the Tigers in our first half of action?
Oh, I thought our defense was outstanding, honestly. That's definitely our best defensive half besides the second, third, fourth quarter of most games, but easily our best first half of the year so far. And I'm pleasantly surprised by Carez Anderson, to be honest. His defense will be 4 steals, and he's had a couple of dynamic layups here, and he's just been outstanding so far. And I'm also pretty surprised by the lack of height taking into effect in this game. Rich Central has insane height compared to ours, and they've had one possession where that's come into play. So I believe for their amount of height, we've played very well.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm excited for in the second half, we get Miller Calhoun back. He'll probably play a little more in the third and fourth quarter, which if Rich Central mounts a run, it'll be nice to have Calhoun back on the floor. Because that's what Coach Verdell Jones has been saving him for. I mean, you don't take someone out after scoring 5 points in the first few minutes of the game and not play him the rest of the game. Miller Calhoun's going to be big down the stretch just as he was in the opening moments of the game.
Exactly. It's what we saw last night with Central and Khalil Terry, that a dynamic freshman got 2-3 quick fouls and sat for basically the entire first half and part of the third quarter as well, even though he's possibly a D1 recruit. So.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half. And we will be back. The Tigers are up at halftime, 30-18. And the second half is upon us. We welcome you back to the Oscar Adams Gymnasium in Urbana, Illinois. We enter our second half with Urbana ahead of Rich Central, 30-18. I'm joined once again by Colin Tarkowski. And Colin, you look at how Urbana has played in the first half. We mentioned before the break, probably their best first half of the season. So
easily.
How do they keep this going in the second half?
I think just keep playing hard defense. I know Carez isn't out here to start off, but he needs to be he's going to be a big part of this team if we get a win tonight. And I'm glad to see Miller back in. Miller and Carez probably my top 2 players to watch for the second half.
Absolutely. Inbounding for the Olympians, DeJuan Evans. Evans has a single point in this one, but he averages 14.4 a game, so he will definitely be a weapon to watch in the second half. The Olympians' first possession here, driving inside, is Tyrus Harvey, and he commits a charging foul. And a nice job by Miller Calhoun, who already has 2 fouls, to man up, set his feet, take the charge.
I mean, Peyton Sheen himself already has 3 fouls, I believe. So,
the Tigers are going to have to watch out because while we're Urbana guys, you've got to recognize the fact that Urbana has climbed back into games from very similar positions, so it can definitely happen. You can't get too cocky, you can't get too arrogant. You got to keep playing your game and try to add to the lead rather than getting all fancy. And Peyton Sheen, a nice job there. Yeah. To put the Tigers ahead by 14.
And you never know, it might be the opposite of usual. Have a great first half and a terrible second half, which is easily possible as well.
Absolutely. Turnover here for the Tigers. Not a turnover here. I'm thinking that they're still going that way. Tigers force the turnover. There we go. As it's Peyton Sheen. And Sheen, a dangerous scorer, finds himself for 3.
There we go.
And it's Peyton Sheen knocking it down. The Tigers go ahead by 17.
Finally gets a 3 to go down in this game.
And he can heat up. Now he's got 7 points, averages 13 a game. And a foul committed by Miller Calhoun, his 3rd.
It's big.
Fouls are something that Calhoun has struggled with this season, especially early on. Now he's kind of gotten that figured out, but he averages more fouls a game than points still. And so he's got to watch that.
He's not a big scorer, though.
He's not. But it's still not very becoming of a basketball player.
Not at all.
Have more fouls than points. As that's short, rebound to McWilliams.
See him kind of back off there not to pick up the 4th foul.
Yeah.
I guess we're leaving him in until picks up the 4th foul.
Or even beyond that.
Yeah.
Peyton Sheen pulls up off the glass.
Questionable shot selection there.
Yeah. Coach V might just be aggressive and tell the guys, you're in until you foul out. Off the glass, Jace Lee.
I mean, we have plenty of depth today. Like multiple, I think 8, 9 guys have had a decent presence so far, so I don't think he's too worried about anything like that.
Yeah. And the Tigers are going to be aggressive. They want to build up as big of a lead as they can.
Oh, for sure.
Before the 4th quarter, and then just count on their bench guys to drive it home. So Tigers will go to the line. Tyron Pickett. That's completely the wrong thing. They'll inbound it. Keanu Duke. It's just so interesting that we haven't seen the Tigers in this position yet. I mean, the Tigers have not played a single game here at the Oscar Adams Gym. With the exception of, I guess, the St. Thomas More game was fairly similar.
Yeah.
But, usually this isn't the position we see the Tigers in. Usually, they're fighting from behind at this point.
We either have a very small lead at halftime or we're down by double digits about, so it's pretty nice so far.
Inside, Ty McWilliams off the glass, no good. Rebound, Jace Lee.
It's a big problem for Urbana. We can't really finish in the paint.
No, it's not. I think we'd be just fine finishing against a team that was our size.
That's fair.
Big three there from Jiron Mitchell. Jiron Mitchell, got to watch out for him. He has 3 fouls for the Olympians.
He does.
But Colin, that brings up a good point. I mean, a game like this, you can't forget that you're outsized. Foul there will go against Jace Mitchell. More than likely, rather Jace Lee. You can't forget how outsized you are because, Rich Central will use that as they look to get back into this game.
In the first half, the Rich Central's height didn't really have much of an effect, and I think Urbana just needs to think that it's still a possibility that it does in the second half and not just kind of ignore the fact that 3 of their guys are 3 inches taller than our tallest players.
Yeah, absolutely. At the line, Peyton Sheen. And Sheen knocks down his first. And Peyton is just so good at getting himself to the line. How often do we see him at the line for an and one?
It's insane. It honestly is.
I've never seen anyone who's quite as good as that as he is.
And he's outstanding at converting those free throws, too. I remember earlier in the season, he wasn't – the entire team, as we said, shot maybe 50% from the free throw line. But Peyton's kind of turned that around a bit.
Yeah. Charging foul. The Tigers will take over up 14. It's 37-23 with 5:15 left in the third.
Urbana's already taken like 5 charges this game. That's
well, that's something the Tigers have always liked to do. You go back a few years, Coach Vashon Russell's Tigers. They would practice that during practice, taking charge. And Coach Verdell Jones obviously employs a bit of a different scheme than Coach Russell.
I mean, it's something you need to do when you're undersized. So you have to be able to take those charges.
Got to be scrappy.
Yeah.
And no good is McWilliams on the jumper.
Serious foul trouble here for Rich Central. 3 of their current 5 guys combined for 9 fouls.
Blocking foul against Miller, his third. Fourth. Excuse me.
I'm expecting a sub here from Verdell, but I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, here comes Jamonte. Yeah.
Jamonte up to the scorer's table. We'll see who he comes in for.
I'm assuming Miller.
We'd expect Miller, but you never know.
He might just be playing until you foul out. So.
Well, we'll see. First free throw is good to bring it back to a 13-point game. Calhoun comes out.
Not as good of a second half for Miller as he had.
No.
The first 2 minutes of the game were outstanding for him.
Absolutely. But we haven't seen the last of him, I don't think. If it's close, he'll come back in.
For sure.
Towards the end. The 5-4 Urbana. Now Sheen, McWilliams, Williams, Duke, and Pickett. Free throw no good. Rebound.
Rich Central has been very underwhelming with their free throws so far this game.
And a blocking foul. And that was the right call. Goes against Chance Love, his first foul. But the 6th foul of the second half already, and we haven't even gotten halfway through the third quarter. look at the fouls for Rich Central. As McWilliams shoots his first, you've got Chance Love with 1, Jaira Mitchell with 3, Deion LaShawn Washington with 2, and then 3 fouls for DeJuan Evans.
I would not be very surprised if at least one player on Rich Central fouls out this game if they continue to play as aggressively as they have been.
I think we might see players from both teams foul
Both teams,
out.
yeah. If Miller gets in again, I believe he's going to foul out.
Chance Love got the basket to go back to a 13-point game. Here's McWilliams losing the ball, and that will go out of bounds on Urbana, although good hustle from Jamonte Williams. Check that Tyron Pickett to keep it in bounds, or to try to keep it in bounds.
It's hard when you have 3 guys out here with the dreads. It's very confusing.
Yeah, no kidding. All about the same height.
Yeah.
And a steal from Pickett, yeah.
See, Pickett and Anderson, they play such a similar game. Both.
And a steal here.
Is that an attempted behind the back pass from
like
Jamonte?
that. What a move. Not a very good finish.
Yeah, terrible finish.
From Breonte Washington. Pickett.
Ooh.
Got blocked.
Forgot his size there.
Yep. Oh, man. And a blocking foul against Deion LaShawn Washington. 7th foul for the Tigers. It's a shooting foul, so the Tigers won't be on the 1-and-1. And that was the best defensive possession we've seen from Rich Central in a while, with the exception of they weren't able to get the rebound and go the other way. But, you know, some blocks, they forced 2 misses. Yeah.
I believe that's Rich Central's 4th guy here with 3 fouls already.
Yeah.
One of them's on the bench right now, and 3 of them are in with 3 fouls. So.
Chris Cross and Perez Anderson in the game. And the second free throw is good, 14 points. The lead for Urbana. Nice move from Chance Love. Not a very nice move because he traveled.
Personally, I didn't believe that was a travel. I thought it was a nice Euro step.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to let that go.
I mean, I guess you can't really do a Euro step when you have officials out here calling countless fouls.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ooh.
And, man, the Tigers offensively, they've slipped a little bit lately, and it's been fairly low-key because they're still ahead by 14, but they've been a little sloppy this half.
Oh, for sure. They need to, before Rich Central gets anything going on their own offense, Urbana needs to just keep their offense going with what they had first half.
Yeah. That's a good point because Rich Central's going to figure this out soon. I can feel it.
They've shown that they can shoot. They have a couple guys. I think they have 2-3 threes. If they start to knock those down,
almost there, Colin.
Yeah,
but
yeah. If they knock those down, I mean, they definitely.
Hey! Jamonte Williams slams it home. Oh man, he didn't slam it home.
Dunk contest worthy right there. I do not know what you're talking about.
Oh man. Yeah, no, he slammed it to send it on its way home.
Didn't get quite high enough up there.
No, oh man. First dunk we've seen, first attempted dunk we've seen from Urbana
since Tyrese McWilliams a few weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah,
he had that one.
That was against Community, I believe.
Either that or the game before, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the game before would have been in December, so yeah, probably Community.
Maybe Manual.
Yeah.
Free ball from Perez is no good, and the foul on Keanu Duke. Duke not in trouble yet. That's only his 2nd foul.
A lot of guys playing with 3 fouls right now on both teams.
Yeah, Peyton Sheen, a member of the 3-foul club, as well as Mitchell, Deion LaShawn Washington, and Jace Lee.
Almost another steal from Krez there.
And a steal from Cross.
Then
almost a steal from the Olympians, and the Tigers are able to finish 44-28. You can see Rich Central's trying to push the pace. Chance Love off the glass. It's in. Back to a 14-point game.
Nice finish there from Rich Central.
Oh, Rich Central's getting aggressive.
Both teams are super aggressive here.
Driving inside. No foul called. No foul called there. It's a block. And the Olympians will go the other way, led by Chance Love. Love to the corner, and Washington, Briante Washington, a charge. Oh, wow.
Wow, I did not believe that was a charge.
No. And for Briante Washington, that's his first. So it seems like the Olympians have a lot of guys with either 2 or 3 fouls or none. Briante now with 1 foul.
Don't have a single man on the floor right now without a foul, so.
Correct. What a player.
Wow.
Oh, my God. He's been
over the guy.
Yeah, he's been you said earlier they can go under these guys, and now they're going over them.
Right, it's insane. Again, you can't really do that if you're 6'4", like most players. You can't. It's not enough room to go over or under a man, so.
Jace Lee lifts that one home. It's almost like it's almost like Rich Central's under some no dunk order. It's like Perez is continuing to add. He's got 13. That goes above his season average.
And usually his game is not in the paint like it's been today.
No.
Usually he stays around the perimeter. See, that was more worthy of a charge than the last one, I believe.
Yeah. No call there. The Tigers go the other way. Into the corner, and Jamonte Williams, you got it.
Knocks it down.
51-32. The Tigers ahead by 19.
Got 3 players in double digits right now.
Yeah, Jamonte Williams averages 11 on the season. He's got 11 now, and a blocking foul, and 1, and it lands on Cross.
See,
man.
If the other possession was a charge, that definitely should have been a charge as well.
You'd think. Oh, poor Chris. Oh, poor guy. The ball, he fell to the ground. The ball went through the net. It got him right in the stomach.
Ooh.
He was laying right under the basket. Oh, my gosh.
Out comes Peyton Sheen here.
And Bryson Tatum is in the game for the Tigers.
Rich Central definitely needs to work on their free throws. I believe they've made 1, maybe 2 this game.
Yeah. And the Tigers will turn it over. Rich Central's ball here.
I still think if Urbana keeps up this margin going into the 4th quarter, I don't see there's any way they lose it unless Rich Central comes out like Central did last night in the 3rd quarter.
Anything's possible. I think if you're Rich Central, you want to cut this maybe to 15 points by the 4th.
Yeah, and that's not the way to do it.
Jump ball favors Urbana. Tigers average 62.5 points per game. It looks like they'll get to that mark.
I believe they will. Doesn't look like Rich Central's going to reach their average of 57.1 this game unless they have, as I said, a crazy 4th quarter.
Which you don't want to rule out. The Tigers scored 20, 25 points the last few minutes of the Centennial game.
Yeah. Anything's possible. I'm not trying to, yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Foul against Rich Central, Briante Washington. He's got to be careful slamming that ball around. Stingy officials tee up for that.
Yeah.
And to the line in the 1-and-1 goes Keanu Duke. Both these teams wearing Adidas uniforms this afternoon. This evening, I guess I should say. Rich Central in the powder blue white and red. Urbana in the orange and black. These Rich Central digs kind of remind me of the old Sacramento Kings color scheme.
Say, they looked a little familiar. I couldn't place it, but yeah, now that you say that, it does kind of, yeah.
With the design of the old Kansas Jayhawks uniforms.
I really like those Kansas Jayhawks uniforms.
Very clean.
Even the new ones. I like what Adidas does with their basketball uniforms.
Adidas does make a quality basketball uniform.
It might not be the popular opinion, but I prefer Adidas to Nike in
I don't know.
most things.
Well, we'll see. That'll be a foul, and Rich Central will go to the line. This is Kene Gonigan. Haven't called his name yet. He'll go to the line for 2 big free throws. And I liked Urbana's. I like the design of our Nike uniforms more than
the ones
these.
the JV team uses now?
Yeah, the current JV uniform. I just don't think these varsity uniforms look great. They're all right.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. These are an exception to my my preferences.
Yeah, it's like just not
And I guess I do really like what Nike's done with the NBA uniforms.
Oh, the NBA uniforms
with all like
so crispy.
with all like the alternate like the city editions. Those are just
so crispy.
Remember, the Utah uniforms are just
love them.
The nice burnt orange. Just those are.
Here we go to the corner, and Williams for three. Can't close out the third quarter with a three-pointer, but Urbana doesn't allow Rich Central to move the ball up. And the Tigers enter the fourth quarter up 53-35.
Yeah, 18-point differential. I think Urbana's got a very good shot to win this game.
I agree. They've just can't let up.
Not at all.
I wouldn't go to the bench immediately, but yeah, the Tigers are in the driver's seat. It's going to take a whale of a performance from Rich Central to get back into this one.
I really like what Verdell's done with the lineup tonight. I mean, I remember last game against Central, I think in the third quarter they used maybe 5, 6 guys in the entire third quarter when they're getting destroyed in every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And now they're getting like maybe we have like 10 guys in the game so far.
They're including everybody.
Yeah, and I really like that. That's what a basketball team needs to do because it keeps the other team like guessing what's going to happen because we have a ton of different styles like Perez and Tyron. They're similar, but they both bring different aspects to the game. So
absolutely, and especially a team like this who's not going to go in and punish you in the paint, who's not going to go out and punish you from the perimeter. But can do a lot of things pretty well. They need to be throwing guys out left and right at you.
Yeah, our guard play has been amazing tonight.
Absolutely.
Especially with Perez, and Pickett's been having a good game for himself as well. I don't think on the scoring front at least, but he's been playing pretty good defense.
Yeah. And the Tigers as a unit have played very good defense. So they just got to keep that up for a few more minutes, and we will have avenged our loss against Champaign Central last night.
I mean, I don't know if this game carries as much weight to it as that one does.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, you look at that three. Deion LaShawn way off on that one. You look at the crowd. I mean, it's obvious that people just don't care about this game as much.
Yeah.
But it's what you need as a basketball team. You know, if you can go into practice this week on a good note rather than on the sour note that last night brought us, then that's big moving forward. And this team's still got a lot of big games left down the stretch.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just that this game is what the Tigers needed, assuming that they can finish it out. And with 7:15 left in the fourth, it looks like the Tigers will do that. Jamonte off the glass and in.
I believe that was Tyrese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Tyrese McWilliams. Puts the Tigers ahead by 20. And Chance Love off the glass. He
nice
cuts it
there.
back to 18. Timeout, Rich Central.
Yeah, I feel like Urbana offensively is going to kind of taper off with their aggression. We saw they took like a minute to actually take a shot there. So if Urbana continues to do that, they have this game won for sure.
Definitely. You don't have to play fast. You just got to play smart. (55-37) with 6:51 left in the fourth.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple other players get in that haven't played yet, maybe Tariq or Kamari. Now that we're up by nearly 20, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, they've typically been bench warmers this year, but if you see them in PE, they can flat play.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember Tariq before his injury, he was easily one of the top players on the team.
Tariq Keel injured his ACL last season during football season, and he was actually coming off of a pretty good season at that point. It was a shame to see him sidelined for the entire basketball season because this is his sport, but he's bounced back very strong from that torn ACL.
He has. He doesn't play much. When he comes in, he's always a factor.
Huge guy off the bench for the Tigers to have. And it's Sheen in the paint. And the Tigers, they're just going to kick it kind of four corners here. And, they'll take some shots, but they're not going to take shots very quickly.
Another faulty behind the back pass there by Urbana.
And look at that. Jamonte Williams and the Tigers get it back, and it's off the glass. Puts the Tigers back ahead by 20, and likely puts this game away.
Especially with Rich Central doing that, I think that's the dagger right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, Urbana's ball movement in this game has been insane. Multiple guys in double figures, and then even the guys who aren't have nearly double figures. So.
Yep, Tigers 5 points away. I guess 6 points away from exceeding their season average. Well, 5 points away because the season average doesn't include last night's game, and they didn't score 62.5 points last night. So Tigers close to exceeding their season average for points. And here's Carez. Now it's Keanu Duke, back to Carez. Back to Duke and to Sheen. Back to Anderson. I don't really want to see the Tigers shoot any threes last night. Or I don't want to see the Tigers shoot any threes tonight here at this point. I got on the Maroons last night for that. Central, they kept shooting threes.
I mean,
towards the end of a game.
It's a rivalry game.
Well, it's not a very good look.
I mean, no. If I was a coach, I'd tell my guys not to shoot.
It was Gus Rosso who knocked down the three-pointers for Central, and 4 points for him is pretty good.
It's always nice to see the guys who never get to play just get a couple buckets. I guess I'd have to be fine with that. If they left their starters in and they were continuing, like if Finke and Terry were still in the game and shooting like that, I would have a bit of a problem. But
yeah. Gus Rosso tallied 4 points, so I guess he didn't hit more than 1 3.
I think he had a three and a free throw, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah.
We got a technical foul here, and at the line is Tyrese McWilliams.
Did the coach get teed up again, or what happened here?
Again.
Well, not again, but there's a warning before. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they were assessed a warning earlier, so I would guess it's just a manifestation of that.
Yeah. Maybe a second warning means a attack or something.
And McWilliams no good on his first. His second free throw is also no good.
Overcompensated there, long and then short. Oh, double tech?
I guess. Peyton Sheen's the line.
That's the second time we've seen that this season. Last time we made all 4 free throws, but.
Or perhaps a technical foul and a foul. Urbana's in the double bonus.
If it was a foul, though, wouldn't there be guys to rebound?
Oh, no, because a technical foul, you still get to keep the ball.
That's fair, that's fair.
Yeah. And Sheen knocks down 2 free throws.
Perfect from the line so far this game.
Yeah.
3 guys at 13.
Yep. Peyton Sheen, Carez Anderson, and Jamonte Williams all at 13 points.
Top 3 scorers right there, so it's kind of fitting.
Yeah. Yeah. They all average 11 or more.
Tariq there is fitting as well. Ooh, no foul. Wow.
And here's Chance Love. Inside, Jace Lee off the glass, back to a 20-point game. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth in this game. The Olympians are going to have to put up some heck of a fight to get back into it.
Yeah, I don't see any way they can come back. The way they're playing, I think Urbana is going to actually increase the differential from 20.
You think so? I think it'll hover around this mark.
We're not going to be too aggressive, but it seems like Ridge Central's making countless bad passes and just not very good basketball plays here.
Yeah, Ridge Central just looks out of it.
They do. 3 for Tariq.
Tariq knocks down the 3. And a foul away from the ball.
Wow.
And with Urbana in the double bonus.
Wow, 5-point play possibly.
Peyton Sheen to the line. Oh, my gosh.
Wow, that is. Man, see, that's I love having Tariq in there because his shot is amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
That looks like we're going to have a little bit more than a 20-point differential here because Peyton Sheen's likely going to knock them both down.
You called it. Sheen to the line. First free throw is good.
Oh, there are 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's the double bonus.
Yeah.
So
he was treating it like an and 1 there.
Yeah. 2 players. Oh, he missed it.
Man, 5-point plays are rare. You got to convert those.
Yeah, still 2 players, 4 points, 1 play.
Man, if he hadn't quit, this would be the point where Peyton Borich would get some playing time.
Yeah, Peyton Borich obviously played on this Tigers team and performed the national anthem last night.
It was outstanding.
Did a fantastic job.
Honestly, I preferred hearing that than the band as a whole playing it.
Oh, man. No
competition.
No chill with your own band.
I mean, it's not great when you're trying to have like at least part of a student section and only 7 guys, one of which isn't even in the band, are standing and cheering. Yeah, Stephen Thompson.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it. I just don't. There's no need for 1,000-person band over.
Like,
Just
not even in a college-sized stadium, let alone Oscar Adams
it's
Gym.
It's a gymnasium. I mean, I see the point in bringing that many people if you're going to play all the games at the middle school.
Right.
Maybe, but
especially if you like open up like the upper seating and everything. It's a lot of people. There's like a lot of people there.
But you're playing this game in what compared to that gym is a closet.
Right.
Cramming 100 people into one section, and you're all telling them to play their instruments as loud as they can. It just doesn't.
And then you have people who just couldn't care less about the game on their phones socializing.
So,
I'm just like,
if you're going to come and cheer for the team, I'm all for that. But you've got, 100 people there, and only 10 of them care about the game.
If that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, gosh. I mean, I'm all for an atmosphere, but.
I mean, comparing
replace the people who are just there to get a grade with people who want to watch the game.
You have a small band. You would have a very small band if it was only people who cared about the game.
Well, no, but I'm just saying replace them with, other spectators.
Oh, other spectators. Yeah, like
a
type of a student section.
Yeah. Throw 10 people out there with tubas and then pack in 90 more people are going to make some noise.
Exactly. It's kind of sad. You've seen like videos and pictures of the I believe the Centennial student section during their game against Central.
Both the Centennial and Central student sections.
Yeah, and then literally Central barely brought their student section, and we had I saw maybe 6 students at the most sitting in one clump together besides the bands.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, there's no school spirit, and it's.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really my issue's just with the band. I mean, I love our bands. I love the job that our marching band does, the football games, and marching band. It's.
I know.
That's a football tradition. I'm not mad about the marching band, but this pep band,
I like pep band and all. I like everything that the band has done as like a department in the school.
Oh,
but
absolutely. They do a great job. But
there could definitely be some improvements here.
Pep band is something that needs to be looked at.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Hicks has done a great job on basically everything except pep band, I think.
And Mr. Hicks and Mr. Sturmack, really like them both. Like talking to them in the hallway.
Yeah, Mr. Hicks is honestly one of my favorite teachers. I don't think he gets enough credit for all that he does. Yeah, he's an amazing man.
And you look at how our jazz bands do at competitions, do so well. And the whole band culture, obviously, it starts at the middle school, and people are excited to come play at the high school.
Exactly, yeah.
But they're not excited to come play at Urbana High School basketball game, and it's just.
It's so much easier to get them hyped up at the football games. I remember the game against Central.
Yeah.
The one where somebody needs to learn how to spike the ball. Sorry, still a little triggered over that.
Jacob Meeker, his infamous.
Not to call him out or anything, but.
Except you just did. But
I didn't say his name. I said somebody.
It's true.
No, but it's so much easier to get them hyped up at a football game. I don't know why. It's basically the same atmosphere. But at a basketball game, you tell them to stand up. Even getting them to put up the U when we're shooting free throws is an impossible task now.
Yeah, it's just.
I wasn't even asking them to stand. I was just like, you put up the U during free throws, and that's enough for me.
Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't do that. You look at the first 2 rows, and then you go the farther you go up, no one's doing it. So, and I don't blame the band members for not wanting to be there, because there are some people who just don't like basketball or who just don't like sports. But it's just something that I don't get it.
It's why I kind of like the college form of pep band, because you have people, you have to audition.
You
people,
sign up.
People want to be there. Yeah. It's not. You're not forced to do that if you're in some sort of bands. Obviously, the whole marching Illini are not in the Illini pep bands.
Yeah.
Be a huge section.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's something I'm looking forward to next year. School with a great pep band and even better student section going to the U of I. So
Colin is been accepted into the University of Illinois and looks forward to cheering in the marching Illini, cheering and playing in the marching Illini, and Orange Crush as well.
Orange Crush, I'm definitely going to try to do that. Man, we've taken the same amount of threes in these last 5 minutes that we have in the whole game.
Out of bounds, we'll stay with Bridge Central.
To be fair, I don't blame the players. They don't get much playing time. They're just trying to get as many points as possible, because only one guy scored of the 5 minutes for Urbana right now. So.
And here's a thought: if you're going to throw so many people out at, why doesn't the pep band play at baseball games or softball games? It's like what?
I mean, I think
it's just. Throw them all behind the outfield fence, like lined up along the.
I guess they don't do that because baseball and softball are typically quieter atmosphere. I'm going to say for soccer. Soccer would be a great thing to have.
Soccer
for pet
would
bands.
be a cool thing to have a pet.
I would love that, honestly, because
I
don't know.
Baseball, soccer would be more marching band things, but it's the same. I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, still, it's like.
I don't know. It's just
something. Yeah.
Tariq Keel will shoot the 3.
2 for 2.
He got it.
His shot. His form is. I think it's the best on the team. How it looks anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, he's the only one shooting 100%. So can't get much better than that.
No. Ridge Central, they've come out lethargic in the second half.
The Ridge Central starters against the Urbana bench, and
we're still
takes them five attempts to make a layup, and they didn't even end up making the layup.
At the line is Jace Lee.
Besides Jace Lee, Ridge Central has looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Jace Lee has 18. No other player on the court has more than 3.
I believe he's the leading scorer for both teams. I think maybe only Peyton Sheen maybe has 14, 15 points, and yeah. But besides him, there's not much going on for Ridge Central.
Free ball, and that's Zach Glass, who has competed in three-point competitions for these Tigers. You want to talk about a shot, it's Zach Glass.
That's fair. His foot was on the line. It was a 2, but still, he has a great form as well. Did he end up winning the homecoming pep rally 3-point competition? Was that him or was that somebody else?
I know he destroyed everyone until he got to the final round.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah. I don't remember how that last round went.
Yeah. And I see the younger players getting a little bit of playing time here. We had 2 freshmen come in the game. Not right now, obviously. We have 1 freshman in.
Marcus Washington's in the game. He's a junior now. Look at what's ahead for these Tigers. They battle Normal West next Friday.
That'll be a tough one.
Yep, that will be a very tough one. Francis Socorro of Normal West, he is the real deal.
One of Illinois' top recruits for next year. He is insane. I believe 6'9", just top 20 recruit in the country.
Yeah.
I don't see how Urbana stops him, to be honest.
That'll be a tough one.
Yeah.
That's on the road at Normal West. Tariq Keel will get to the line. Then after Normal West, the Tigers take a week off. They're back in action on the 27th at Danville. The next game we see here at the Oscar Adams Gymnasium Tuesday the 30th against Rantoul, and February 2nd also at home against Bloomington. They go on the road to Bloomington Township on Saturday, February 3rd. On the road at Mahomet Seymour on Tuesday the 6th. Then they are at Centennial on February 9th, at Richwoods in Peoria on the 16th of February, and they close their season at home against Peoria Notre Dame on February 20th.
Listening to our schedule, I don't see too much high competition besides Normal West, obviously.
Normal West will be tough. Mahomet Seymour will be tough.
But besides those 2, if we play like we have tonight against Ridge Central, I believe we could finish with close to 500, to be completely honest.
Normal West and Mahomet Seymour will be tough.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Centennial will be tough, not because I believe they're the better team, but because those crosstown rivalry games are always pretty evenly contested.
Besides the second half of last night's game,
unless they're against Central.
Yeah, well, yeah, Central's
in
just
general.
Leagues ahead of the Centennial and Urbana.
This season for sure, and the way Central played last night, and the way they've played just down, recently, they're a state contender. Because Urbana is a good basketball team. Not a great basketball team at this point. Could be a great team.
I believe they're above average.
They're above average.
If you don't look at their record.
Isn't above average isn't that what good means? I mean, it's
that. Yeah.
So
that's fair.
We're a good basketball team. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. And the way Central played on the road last night against a good basketball team is.
And the way I see it is, if it's a bit controversial, but if Bailey D was still on the team, they'd possibly have 2 to 4 D1 recruits on that team. That's definitely state bounds.
Yeah, but
not taking away anything from the players they currently have. They've performed very well this year.
You've got to figure you throw one more senior onto that team. That's just less time for Cleo Terry to step up as a freshman.
That's fair,
so,
yeah.
I mean, everything works out. Everything kind of, Central's a really good basketball team.
No, absolutely.
They're just fine with who they got. I mean, I'm not.
Easily one of the best teams in the area.
Absolutely. I was skeptical, but the way they played last night, they won me over.
Absolutely.
55 seconds left in the game. Tyrell King. Tyrell King was a starter. Hasn't done much.
No.
Hasn't done anything. Out of bounds. We'll stay with Rich Central. So the Tigers are going to get out of this one with a good win. Right now, a 27-point lead for the Tigers, so almost a 30-point win. A nice way to bounce back from a 24-point loss.
Considering this is a suburb school with a above 500 record, this is a great win for Urbana.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier, Rich Central averages 57.1. They won't get to that point tonight.
No, they will not. I think Urbana's best win of the year so far.
I think it's the one they needed the most.
Yeah.
Because it's what I said.
Yeah.
You look. All right, pretend this game doesn't exist. You're going into a week of practice and into your stretch run thinking of a 24-point loss with, the whole community had their eye on that game. And now you go into a week of practice in your stretch run with a nice, easy win.
And if you didn't have this game, this is a nice cushion between Central and Normal West.
Yeah.
That's just
absolutely.
Having those teams back to back, that would be brutal.
Yeah. And this game, the Tigers didn't have time to practice for this game. I'm not sure if they maybe went through a walkthrough today or what the Tigers did as a team this afternoon. But I mean, this is a day after a loss that the whole community was talking about.
Yeah.
So I mean, the way they've just bounced back from this is very nice to see. Zach Glass can't hold on to it. And that's probably the last time the Tigers will touch the ball in this one. Right, Central holding it.
Going to dribble it out here.
Jeffrey Daniel, haven't called his name yet, will dribble it out and
nope,
didn't shoot it. Pump fake to fool us.
2K control is glitching out here for
a button stuck or something. Oh man, so that does it. Colin, your final takeaways from this one.
This was a great game for me, honestly. Easily one of the best games I've seen in my 4 years here at Urbana. I've gone to all but one game, I believe, here at home. And I thought the Jace Lee, the combination of Jace Lee and DeJuan Evans, two dynamic scorers with 6'3" plus height, I thought they'd combine for an easy 30, 40 points. And I didn't see any of that. Besides Jace Lee, Rich Central had nothing going for him. So I'm really glad Urbana got this win. They desperately needed it before face this tough game against Normal West.
Yeah, definitely. The Tigers shut down Rich Central. The Olympians fall to 8-8. The Tigers bounce back. They are now 6-10. So we thank you for watching this presentation of Tigers basketball on the Tigers Media Network. Colin, thanks for joining us.
No
great
problem.
to have you on this afternoon. Now get back to band. Fire up all 9 of your student section
nine's
buddies.
a bit generous, but I'll try it, yeah.
Oh, man. So for Colin Tarkowski, for Jason Liggett, who ran our camera, I am Joey Wright. We thank you for watching this presentation of the Tigers Media Network.